ahead on another.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see everybody at our pre-council meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, now in hands out our cake for city clerk, Lisa Lamb.
This is the previous Tuesday, August 9th, we have approval of minutes from August 2nd.
That's good.
Appeals, we have, request for waiver of noise on ordinance to return to stage park on September 2nd, September 3rd, September 4th. In Cooper Riverside Park on August 14th, at 6:22 p.m. Union Square on the 27th, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Cathedral Square, we're 307 Contact Street, which I think is Cathedral.
Yeah, that's the concert for the Gulf Coast Challenge. It's
November 9th and November 11th.
it's a free concert.
August 20th on Darwood Drive.
I wanna hold that one a week.
Yeah, I'll take that one separate. August 27th on Springfield Avenue, 5 Public hearings, today is a public hearing to consider approval of public means necessity to make back Alabama to operate an ambulance service.
I think we need to cancel that, it's a little premature.
Table or?
Well, the hearing needs to be canceled, and then the resolution needs to be tabled. But it's a first read, so I guess we'd have to,
But this is a public hearing. Yeah, I thought we had to go ahead with the public hearing.
no, well, on this one, the law requires that the applicants submit their item to the fire department, and then the fire department has to issue a report to you guys. And so the cart got in front of the horse, it just got scheduled before the report has come in. And there's, my understanding is the fire department's working on that, so we're gonna need to reschedule, re-notice a public hearing once the report comes in, according to city ordinance.
So we can't cancel.
Yeah, you can cancel.
Table it.
Cancel.
So is it table, cancel, what's the wording?
Cancel.
It's not called, right?
My interpretation is all correct. That's fine for her to kind of call it.
What do you wanna do?
It's not called, or is anybody planning to come to the night?
I don't.
I talked to the firm who is representing the applicant yesterday, and it appears that the applicant was going to appear before us, but understands now that he can't.
So maybe we could just say move to table and.
I'll just make a statement that, due to procedural, issues, public hearing,
That we're on,
yeah.
maybe? Okay,
I'll work.
all right.
Public hearing should be on property located at 2100 North University Boulevard from R1 to B2. Public hearing should be on property located at the southeast corner of Cottage Hill Road and Solid Road from B2 and B1 to B2.
No issues.
Here to declare the structure at 2765 College Street, public nuisance, or demolished, removal of trash and debris.
Dave?
Okay.
Oh,
I just got an update for once we finished.
okay.
Public hearing to declare the structure at 753 Rebecca Drive, a public nuisance, in order to demolish. Public hearing to declare the structure at 962 Government Street, a public nuisance, in order to demolish.
Wait, right there, please. 962 is fine. I've talked to the owner, I've talked to David, I think we should take this. So the motion can,
Table this one.
yes, when it gets to the,
Well, this is public hearing again, though.
right.
People don't
Well,
show
we
up.
can hear the public hearing, I'm pretty sure that Jason Burks will be here. Well, we can hear him, but when it comes down to the, it's will take.
3201.
Did you have
What,
something to
David,
say,
did you
David?
add?
Just a brief update, if you have a second. The owner at 962 does have a demolition/repair permit, and that was not issued at the time we sent out our notice. So that has happened. And I do agree we should table this, giving him time to begin his repairs.
3201, Central Road. Not 657 Donald Street.
These are all the same.
Sorry, can we come back to 962? Isn't this a structure that we've been dealing with for some time?
That is correct. The location has been before council for public hearing and declaration 2 times that I'm aware of. And the reason for that is we had previous owners. The ownership of this property is changing every 2-3 years. And as soon as we take action, it changes ownership. So now we have a new owner that we believe is stepping up. He's gone through all the historic architect review boards. He has his approvals, he has his plans, and he has a permit. When we sent out notice for this time around with this new owner, he did not have a permit issued, and that's why I was compelled to move forward. But at this point, Mr. Carroll is correct, that he has his permit, he has his plans in hand, and we're moving forward with renovation of the project.
He's actually working out there. He's a one-man wrecking crew, has his own company. Some of you may know him already, Jesse Burks, owns QPSI. They're plumbers and contractors, so he's with the work. He's renovated 2 houses in Oakley, he lives in one on Elmira Street, so. For those of y'all that know the history of this building, it's been through, 5 different owners, facade changes, totally changed the historic character of the building. His drawings show him bringing that house back to what it used to look like. So it's gonna be a good project. It may take him a while, but it's gonna be a good project.
Thank you.
Public hearing to fix the cost of demolition of structure at 164 Henley Avenue. Public hearing to fix the cost of demolition of structure at 502 State Road. And the next 2 should be demolitions as opposed to securing. And that is demolition of structure at 724 Kentucky Street and demolition of structure at 1479 Napa Road. Public hearing to fix the cost of demolition of structure at 1632 Perry Avenue and 7324. Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council must be done. Thank the mayor and council for bonuses for retirees. Katie Erling, support for community redistricting maps. Reverend Titus Thorne, Reverend Jim Flowers, regarding redistricting. Ordinance is held over, 02007, ordinance to provide for the reapportionment of 7 council districts in the city of Mobile. 01033, ordinance to provide for the reapportionment of 7 council districts for the city of Mobile.
I will ask the council to make an amendment here. There is, 8 blocks that show within the tracks that are outside the city limits. The corrections were given to Chris for the amendment. It just makes those extra blocks, takes them out of the track where they don't belong. So that's it.
So you're gonna make that amendment in 10:30 meeting, correct?
Yes.
02039, ordinance to provide for the reapportionment of the 7 council districts in the city of Mobile.
I would like to state to council that I have received a couple requests for a roll call vote. And I'm gonna ask the clerk to do a roll call vote for each one of those ordinances that come through.
Mr. President,
Mr. Days.
regardless of the outcome today of these 3 ordinances, there are gonna be some citizens of our city who will find themselves in a different district at the next municipal election. And the question has come up as to whether each of us continues to represent the people who elected us, or whether or whether we automatically after today don't represent some of those people anymore. And I've asked Mr. Arledge his ask him to give it to us.
So the state law, 1144C93 says that the redistricting ordinance shall apply to the first regular election held more than 6 months after its becoming effective and to all elections thereafter. So my opinion is y'all were elected by these people to serve this district for 4 years, and that's who you serve. Now, when there's another election, it's gonna be a, you know, whatever the new thing is. So that's what I think.
Thank you.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yeah, so my understanding is the same, that no matter what action we take today, we will all continue to represent the people that elected us to the job. Although it may make sense that you work with abutting council folks to try to meet the needs of areas that you may represent if you were elected in the next election, but nobody is losing their council person.
Question as well.
Ms. Gregory?
Whatever map goes into effect, is it immediate though, upon approval, after 6 months, it is immediate, but yet we keep the same basic electorate until the next election?
And the ordinance is in effect, but it's about an election.
That's right.
And so the election, like I said, it applies to the first election, whatever, 3 years from now or whatever it is.
Since I'm one of the longest serving members, I can tell you that when we did this 10 years ago, there was a differing opinion.
That's right.
Now, it's very gray, obviously, but we began immediately serving the new
That's right.
districts that we,
But we began doing that with the intent of the next election, but the previous map still was in effect.
yeah, but we began serving the new folks. We sent out letters, we did all that.
That's
Right or
right.
wrong, that's how we handled it. Another question, I know this is putting the cart before the horse, but since it's been out there, if an annexation vote goes forward and if people do come into the city, how then do we handle that? Do we just absorb them and start representing them in whichever districts they come into? I mean, how is that handled under that opinion?
I think
Because
you
we
have
have to
to,
redistrict again possibly,
unless,
right?
unless it would, you don't have to, but I think you might want to at that point in time.
Redistrict
So,
again?
Yeah.
Under the Jones administration, we did not redistrict
No,
after
we did not
annexation.
redistrict
And-
after some
right.
annexation came in. In fact, I absorbed a neighborhood and began immediately representing them. But if enough people should come in through annexation, would that not upset the numbers? Should we not then redistrict? And if so, how do we handle that? I know that's just putting something, the cart before the horse here, but it's something we need to think about.
I've asked that we hold off on any of those discussions until we get to that point. And
Oh,
let's
I know.
stay
I'm just
focused on
thinking ahead.
redistricting today. And, I agree with the opinion of our attorney as well as what I've heard here with regards to, we will represent the folks that elected us for the next 4 years. And I think it would be prudent, at least what I've put out in my district meetings when these questions have arisen, that I will work to ensure that whoever, like, for instance, Ben's gonna assume some of my district. I will make sure that we work together to get Ben into some of those meetings well prior to the time that the campaigning and all that starts. So they know who he is. They know what his vision is, his ideas, et cetera, and they know that they've had an opportunity to voice their concerns for their area to the new incoming, possibly, representative. So, I totally agree that us representing the people like this for the next 4 years should be, what we do, and that's the expectation of the folks, I think, in every one of our districts, from all the emails that I've seen and the messages that we've had.
I agree with Mr. Jones. We got enough headaches today. Discuss that another day tomorrow. And, we got 3 years, almost from today to the next election, so we got plenty of time. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance 64-028, rezone property located at 1618 South 4th Street. charging stations, cruise terminal. 08648, approved purchase order to Environmental Systems Research Institute for annual license renewal for GIS mapping software. 08649, approved purchase order to Quick Buildings for classroom office building for Rural Fire Rescue Training Center. 09650, authorized one-time lump sum payment to eligible retirees who will receive a 09651, authorized one-time lump sum payment to eligible members and eligible surviving beneficiaries of the Mobile Alabama Police and Fire Pension Fund. 21652, authorized contract with Southern Department for police traffic inspections, maintenance, and pumping at various city facilities. 21653, authorized contract for public safety traffic signal preemption services. 21654, authorized contract with Dagan Street for consulting services for office renovations at 200 Government Street.
Mr. President,
Mr. Jones?
if I could go back to 21653, if and when this passes, which I expect that it will, I would really like to see this marketed and put out publicly as information. There's been a number of times just this week where I've seen an emergency vehicle stuck in traffic at a red light. And it didn't cost them seconds, it cost them minutes. 2 were ambulances, 1 was a fire truck. And, you know, I think this goes directly at getting past that point of issue, and I think we need a campaign of public awareness to make sure that doesn't continue to happen, because that can cost lives, and I think that's what this gets after, but I would like to see something communicated to get that fact out and help us out with the public safety side.
Okay.
Authorized grant application to the Alabama Historical Commission for the certified local government grant program supporting digitization efforts by the Local Historic Development Office. 37656, approved certificates for Mob City Rides, operating LSP golf cart service. 6657, adopt the title. 6, update the Parks and Recreation Department waiver transit system. Ordinance is being introduced. 64040, rezoning at Cottage Road and Solid Road B2 and B1, B2. 64041, rezoning at North University Boulevard from R1 to B2. Consent resolution being introduced. 0368, reappoint Darrell Green to the Advisory Commission on the Disabled. 40, 69, 660, 661, 662, 663, 664, 665, 667, 668, 69. Are, fixing the cost of federal structures, of leases and snow and demolished.
Except for 4662.
61.
I'm sorry.
46.
Yeah, 61, I'm sorry, you're right.
That's what he wants.
We
Yeah,
did that.
the 2's got.
Old age.
46670, correct resolution 46666, 2016 to correct the spelling of Isaac Clemens Park. 58671 says cost removal weeds within Route 1626. 60672 and 7374, approving award special bonus to Parks and Recreation Department Employee of the Month and Public Works at Large Employee of the Month and Public Services Employee of the Month. Resolution being introduced. 08675, approved purchase orders for future various city departments. 08676, approved purchase orders for future various city departments. 08677, approved purchase order to Classic Paint Body for damage repair for ladder fire truck. 08678, approved purchase order to Protect Video for annual software license renewals for Mobile Police Department surveillance, $35,000. 08679, approved purchase order to Cone for elevator repairs at Convention Center, $178,149. 21680, authorized contract for medical director services for Mobile Fire Rescue Department, $150,000. 21681, authorized change order with C. Norman for Hillsdale Beach, increase of $56,738 37,682, consider approval of certificate of occupancy and necessity for the Maryland Alabama Springs announcement.
Council, next Tuesday, it was, asked by a couple of council members about having the committee meeting over at the City Center. Talk about some of the findings. We're gonna go ahead and shoot for at 4 o'clock, next Tuesday afternoon. We have the judges interview for next week. And so, right after the last judge interview, we will go over to the City Center. Anything from the council?
Will that be a special call meeting, or would that be a
Just
committee? What committee is that?
Committee of the whole.
Committee.
Committee of the whole, okay.
Anything else from this council? Anything from administration? If not, we'll see each other at 10:29.
There you go.
I think that's gonna be good. Maybe meeting down in the city?
Yeah.